Hi Gemini, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for October. Hope you're well. I am going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Gemini out there. So guys, take what resonates for you, leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, guys, get in where you fit in. But as always, Gemini, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Gemini? All right, Gemini, you are starting out with the Seven of Pentacles. You have Judgment in the reverse. And you have the Queen of Wands. Some of you guys, I know this is a love reading, but I am seeing that some of you guys may have taken the initiative to invest in something, and you're questioning whether or not you made a poor investment. You're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with that. But that's just a side note. So in your energy with regard to love, I do feel that you have this glow up going on. You're showing up here as being somebody that's highly desired, highly attractive. Like people love being around you. There's an energy here of you having a very dynamic, passionate energy. Definitely somebody that people are listening to and enjoying being around. Very passionate. So I do feel like that's a very good energy here. I do feel like there was something that was moving very slow that you've decided that you're not so sure you want it anymore. However, you were deeply invested in this connection, and I do feel like you're kind of waiting to see what this other person might be doing, what they're going to do. Let me see. Show me who is in Gemini's energy. Could be dealing with a water sign, a Pisces, Scorpio, or a Cancer. Or somebody that has strong water in their chart, possibly. We have the Lovers. Somebody's thinking about you. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the High Priestess in the reverse. All right, so I do feel like this is somebody who is thinking about you. This is somebody that has feelings for you. I feel like they may even feel that the two of you are soulmates. But they may have been keeping these feelings to themselves. They may have been keeping these feelings quiet or secret. They are going to reveal that, though. Yeah, if they were keeping it secret, it was like they weren't trusting their own intuition. So that's why they were kind of keeping it to themselves. But this is somebody who definitely has feelings for you. I feel like they submersed those feelings. They kept those feelings dampened for some reason for a period of time. But they're going to reveal this to you. Let me see the energy between Gemini and this person. Now, you could be dealing with another Gemini. The Fool. Ooh. So that's a new beginning. That's a new beginning. That's two people who are going to take a risk with each other. Interesting. Pisces is very strong energy. Let me see what's affecting this connection. This looks like a fresh new beginning for you guys, for you and whoever this is. Five of Wands in the reverse. If you were in conflict with somebody or with this person specifically, I do feel like that conflict will be ending. I will tell you this, Gemini, this person feels like there is no competition for you. This person has deep feelings for you. So I feel like you're kind of pulling back a little. You're standing back a little, and it might be because you're worried about making a bad judgment call if you do invest in this. However, that being said, I feel like you are going to. Let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome for Gemini. The Ten of Wands. It's not going to be without problems, though. And you know why? I think is because I feel like, Gemini, you get a lot of attention. I feel like you get a lot of attention. This person may have been keeping their feelings quiet because they know you get a lot of attention and they don't want to compete with anyone else. And on your side, I do feel like you're taking a risk with this person, but you're questioning whether or not this is the person you should be with. This looks like fairly new energy for most of you, but it could be somebody from the past. Now, the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. That's underlying energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. I'm seeing Scorpio energy as well, but that indicates that, you know, that could indicate the energy of things not being said, things being kept to themselves, or not honestly approached. It can also indicate the idea of cutting someone or something out. I don't know if you've recently cut someone out, because I don't see you necessarily cutting this person out, but you could. You could decide, because like I said, you could be deciding that you're going to play the field. You're not ready to be in this connection. So let's clarify. It also, by the way, Gemini, could indicate a lack of boundaries. So be careful with that, because that will lead to anger, whether it's this person having a lack of boundaries or on your side. So just be aware of that. Spirit, why is the Seven of Pentacles here for Gemini? Okay, so there's the High Priestess in reverse. Now that's in their energy. And there's that Queen of Swords in reverse. Interesting. So you're questioning this connection. You're not really trusting your intuition right now. You are considering whether you should really take a risk with this person or if you should cut them out. You may feel this person's not being honest with you, though. So I feel like you're being patient. You're just kind of sitting back. You're waiting to see what this person's going to do. Yeah, you're waiting to see if this person's going to, maybe you already know they have these feelings for you, and you're waiting to see if this person's going to come to you and talk to you about this. Yeah, it's just basically telling me the same thing as the underlying energy. Now, you may have recently cut someone out, and now you're ready to have a new beginning as well, but you're not quite sure about this. So let me see why Judgment is here in reverse. And if that's the case, you may not be telling this person everything about that situation. Why is Judgment in reverse for Gemini? All right, we have the Five of Cups. Actually, it came out in the reverse. Five of Cups in the reverse. And the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, you don't want to make a bad judgment call. That's new energy. You have possibly some regrets from the past where you've made some poor judgment calls. You don't really want to open up and tell this person about it, but you're not sure this is the right person for you. I do feel like you're open to love again, though. You do want a relationship. You want a close relationship. You want a soulmate. But you're just not sure if this is the right person for you or not. Let me see the Queen of Wands. And I feel like you may have a lot of choices because, yeah, it was clarified by the Queen of Wands. So you definitely know that you're attractive. You know that there are people who would want to be with you. And I feel like you're not quite sure that this is the right connection. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. And we have the Ten of Coins. Yeah, you've gone through a loss here. You've broken up with somebody. It could have been even a divorce. You've gone through a loss. And I feel like you're kind of enjoying the attention that you're receiving from other people. But as far as being involved in a connection, I feel like you would like a soulmate. But not everybody meets the requirements that you have. They don't come up to the level that you want them to. And you're thinking about things long term because you're just not willing to settle. You're not willing to be involved with, just anybody. You want everything. You want the love. You want the money. You want the devotion. You want the long-term, connection, the family, the loyalty. You want everything. And I do feel like you have gone through a loss recently that is affecting you. It's causing you to kind of question, anybody else that is coming into your energy because you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. Yeah. So let me see this person's energy. Let's see what they're about. I do feel like you're having a hard time finding what it is that you actually do, want. It's like you have these standards and, you're requiring people to meet those standards, which is positive. So let me see this person's energy. Why is the Lovers here for the person in Gemini's energy? All right, we have the Chariot and we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, this person has deep feelings for you. They want to move this forward rapidly. They feel like the two of you could be successful. They feel like you are their soulmate. I feel like this person is the one who is reaching out to you. They're revealing their feelings. They're going to, you know, they want to take this leap of faith. I feel like they're the ones that, you know, are kind of chasing you, if I can put it that way. Strong Gemini energy here, but we also have Cancer. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Why is the Queen of Cups here for the person in Gemini's energy? Four of Coins and the Magician in the reverse. They are guarding their energy a little bit. That's why they kept their feelings to themselves for a long time. And there's a little bit of fear that you're placing them in competition with others, and they're afraid that this isn't going to manifest. But this is somebody, Gemini, that you may have known for a minute, because this person's been holding on to your energy, but they've also been kind of concealing their feelings. So you likely didn't know that they had their sights on you, but they definitely do. They feel like if there is competition, you know, that like if you're not leaning in, which is what they want you to do, they don't want to have to compete with other people. So they're afraid that this is not going to manifest. But also be careful, because I do feel like this person could be a little bit manipulative in order to eliminate their competition as well. Let me see why the High Priestess is in reverse for the person in Gemini's energy. Page of Swords and the Three of Swords. Oof. Ooh. So this person's spying on you, and I feel like whatever it is that they're seeing, that it hurts them. Yeah, because this person has a little bit of a broken heart. Now, it could be that they got their heart broken in the past, and they're just checking on you to see, you know, what's going on. That would account for why they don't want to be, you know, they don't want to be in a position where you're getting all this attention. You know, people are trying to be with you, and they feel that that's competition. So whatever it is that they're seeing here, though, I feel like it hurts. It hurts them. They know that you have other options, basically. So they're afraid that this isn't ever going to come together. And this person's been keeping their feelings quiet for a while. Part of that was because they didn't want to get hurt, you know. But they are going to tell you how they feel. I feel like it's going to start with a small conversation. And, you know, I feel like they're just going to kind of drop hints. So let me see why the energy between Gemini and this person. Judgment in reverse and the Nine of Coins. Yeah, you enjoy being single. You're enjoying being single, or at least you're coming across as single. I do feel like a lot of you cut somebody out of your life very recently, and I feel like you get a lot of attention. So you're showing up here as taking a risk with this person, but still maintaining your independence. So I feel like you're going to take a risk with them. You're going to go just so far, but not, it doesn't look like you're willing to go into a deeply committed connection, because you're trying to figure out, is this somebody you really do want to invest with? And I think you have some misgivings. The person that's in your energy is going to realize that they may have made a mistake to try to, you know, push this along too quickly. Because I do feel like they're the ones chasing you, and I feel like they know that it's kind of a bad judgment call on their behalf to do so. I also feel like this is somebody who is wanting to figure out, are you going to connect with this person that you cut out of your life? Are you going to go back to that connection? But Let me see why the Five of Wands is in reverse. All right, so we have the Six of Swords reversed. We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed, and we have the Seven of Wands. Oh, so if you don't roll forward with this as deeply as this person wants, they could get a little manipulative. I do see there could be some conflict between the two of you. I also feel like it's not going to be serious conflict because I don't feel like you're going to allow it to get to that point. I really don't. I feel like this person... I feel like this person is going to be a little bit guarded, a little bit defensive, because when they reveal to you their feelings, it's going to make them feel very vulnerable. And when you don't lean in as deeply as they want you to, they could get defensive here. I do feel like that's going to cause you to kind of put on the brakes a little bit and feel like this is not the person that you need to move towards, that it's going to be chaos. And I feel like you may be avoiding that chaos. And there's a little bit of stuck energy that you have. I feel like you're not as open to, you know, being in a committed relationship with this person. You want love in your life, I see that, but you also don't want to make another bad judgment call. So likely the relationship that you have left, there was a lot of difficulty. So I see you avoiding conflict with this person. And I see that, you know, you're kind of moving away from them. It's like they shoot their shot and you're going to go only so far. When you kind of balk because of your past traumas, it's going to cause them to get very defensive. Let me see your outcome. Show me the outcome between Gemini and this person. Show me the outcome between Gemini and this person. The Moon in reverse. The Star card. Aquarius energy. And the King of Wands. You're showing up here as the Queen of Wands. So this person's checking to see, are you with someone else? Or have you gone back with the other person? You know, they're questioning why you're not leaning into this connection deeper. Because I feel like you are taking a risk with this person. There's a new beginning here, but then you kind of pull back. With the Moon in reverse, this is telling me that there's going to be a lot of problems that show themselves, that reveal themselves. Things that maybe you didn't see in the very beginning. And I do feel like, you know, you want something that is equal, that is balanced. I feel like you're going to tell this person that. And I also feel like you're going to tell them that you're not quite ready to go into a deep connection right now. That you just want to, you know, take this slow. You know, take it slow, see what happens kind of deal. See if the two of you are compatible. I do also see that you're still healing from this breakup from the past as well. So I feel like you're enjoying the energy of other people paying attention to you. This person sees that. They see that. They don't like it. They don't like it. And they're going to tell you that. So the problems are going to crop up in this, and that the two of you look like you're in different places. This person is ready for this connection, full-fledged. I feel like you possibly are not. All right, bottom of the deck is the Lovers. And this tells me that you have choices. You have choices with regard to love. So, you know, you can't make yourself be ready for something that you're not ready for. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you, Gemini. Pulling for Gemini. Yeah, into the unknown. All right, give me a second and I'll read that for you. Trust and all will be revealed. Life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will arise that you won't know how to deal with. This is one of those times. You're required to trust that this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into unknown territory. Imagine that you're not only a pathfinder, but a path maker. Whatever your inquiry, trust that you will be safe. Stay aware as you discover new and marvelous territories and valuable treasures. So that tells me again that you want to kind of be single for a little bit. You want to see all the different options that are out there. You're just in a different place from this person currently, but I do feel like you will figure it out. I feel like you are thinking about things from a long-term perspective, but you also don't want to repeat the past. So I hope that this has been helpful for you though, Gemini. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And until I see you in your next reading, Gemini, know that you are loved and namaste.